think Canty and Michelle are?
It makes all the sense for our show.
Perfect. To literally promote a book, which Smalls has become a method actress, so much so that she's literally been trying to promote the book sales today, which is just
Should I read an excerpt?
I don't know. Did you read before? Did you edit it?
I did. I dog-eared it.
CC is Michael Jordan and I am Phil Jackson. But go ahead.
I give my heart and soul to this game, and just once, I'd like to see someone give some of theirs back to me. I give a lot of enjoyment to the people who watch me play basketball. People who watch me play go through the same emotions I do on the court. I look at myself as one of the top 3 draws in the NBA. If it's not Shaquille O'Neal, if it's not my partner over here, Michael Jordan, it's Dennis Rodman.
He ain't wrong. That's a great take, actually.
That's why I dog-eared that part.
He's a big-time draw.
He is.
He was an entertainer.
That's a great point, but I hadn't thought about that. Draymond always gets compared to Rodman. Draymond is not a draw.
He's not Rodman.
Yeah, Draymond's a phenomenal player.
Yeah, how dare he say that? He's not Rodman.
Get defensive about Dennis Rodman. But he's not a draw like that. That's fascinating. No. CC literally is now actually playing basketball during the show. He's just dribbling.
He's shorted.
Because we have a styrofoam ball that bounces
But it actually
somehow.
bounces like a regular basketball.
It's great.
I don't know how they made this.
It's pretty dense. That styrofoam is dense.
But it actually bounces like you can dribble it like a regular basketball. But it's not a basketball. It's wild.
I think I may bring that home so my kids can play in the house.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
I think they may have something similar to that, but somehow I think they use just a regular basketball, and then now it feels like the house is going to break as a result. Okay. Anyway.
You're going to make them run the triangle offense in there?
Yes, that's right.
That I want to be out in
And by the way, let me apologize to Pat Riley, who I love. I'm sorry for doing this. It's for the show. I know that you and Phil don't always see eye to eye, but understand this is for the show. So I know Pat watches every day, of course.
Well, they're not going to let the players bring the posse into the locker room.
All right, Houston and Denver this weekend in the NFL. Denver is 6-2 at Houston 3-4. Have we acknowledged that Denver could all of a sudden get to 7-2? Like, have we thought about that? Because we think about how they had this great comeback against the Giants, but part of having a great comeback against the Giants is you needed to have a great comeback against the Giants, which means you played pretty poorly through the first 3 quarters of the game. They sit here at 6-2. If you're someone that believes that Buffalo just beats Kansas City no matter what in the regular season, but not in the postseason, that puts Kansas City at 5-4. If you believe that the Chargers are kind of they're going to beat Tennessee this weekend, they're 6-3. But you could look at the Denver Broncos if they're able to beat the Houston Texans. That would mean a 6-game winning streak. They're already plus 56 in terms of point differential. Let's put that at plus 60 at least by the end of that game, and sitting there at 7-2.
I mean, you're being awfully presumptuous, Phil, in saying that the Broncos are going to beat the Houston Texans.
I said, have we thought about it?
Especially that defense?
Yeah, I was about to say, there are very few defenses that can look the Broncos eye to eye, and the Texans is one of them. They're top defense in points and yards. The best. So I don't know that this is going to be just a cakewalk. And the Houston Texans offense, if they can avoid making those critical mistakes, then all of a sudden we got a fourth quarter game on our hands. I think Sunday has the makings of a tightly contested ball game, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Texans come out of there with a win.
I wouldn't be shocked either. And I'm interested to see if the Broncos offense or the Texans defense is going to be able to best the other. That's obviously the matchup I'm looking forward to. The Texans are allowing just 266.9 yards a game, 14.7 points a game. Now, this Broncos offense has scored 77 points in the last 5 quarters. They've been putting up some numbers.
They have.
So I'm interested to see if they can attack that Texans defense in the same way they have others.
Guaranteed they don't crack 30 points in this game. Guaranteed. Lock. Virtual lock.
Lock.
Not against these dudes. It's not going to be that kind of game. This is going to be a defensive battle. And when you have matchups like this, it comes down to which quarterback do you trust the most? And that's a hell of a question now. And I get it. The Texans' record on his face, it's not representative of what we thought they would be coming into the season. But the Houston Texans have won 3 of their last 4 games.
Yes. They're coming alive.
They're coming alive right now. And that defense has been good all year long. So the question is, do you trust Bo Nix more than C.J. Stroud in a one-possession game in the fourth quarter? And the answer to that is I do not.
Slight issue. I was trying to get the over-under from ESPN Bet for that game, and I have set my phone to Face ID for ESPN Bet, and it doesn't ID my face because of the costume I have right now, which is a great compliment to ESPN Bet in terms of your security measures. So I don't know what the number is.
Over-under is 40.5.
Would you take the under? That's a low number.
You can't see this being a 2017 game? Because I can.
Oh, I could for sure.
So then you would, at 40.5, you would take the under. Why are you torn on this now? Because you just made the point that this is the best defense versus the other best defense, in essence.
40.5 is saying a game, 21-20 is an over on 40.5. That's a very low number from NFL standards. So, that's low. That's a low bar to clear. So, 21-20 is still a defensive battle. I just said that the Denver Broncos ain't going to score 30 plus.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you think about this weekend's games, the number one game you think about, and we've been talking about it all week, Kansas City and Buffalo. Like, that is number one no matter what, right? It is must watch more than it is necessarily true definition of rivalry with both teams winning. But if you think about who's competing for second place in terms of second best game, Indy and Pittsburgh has been a game we've been talking about, but this one has a chance.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This game is going to tell me whether or not I should take the Denver Broncos seriously as a team that could actually win the AFC West. Because right now, everybody thinks that it's just a matter of time before the Kansas City Chiefs overtake the division lead. It's an inevitability, right? We keep saying this all the time. The Chiefs are like gravity. Eventually it's going to come back to them. They're going to host a conference championship game, so on and so forth.
Right.
If the Denver Broncos can take the show on the road and best the Houston Texans after, as we've acknowledged, this team has started to come alive in the month of October, then all of a sudden I feel confident in what Sean Payton and Bo Nix and that defense are building out there. I can believe that they are as good as their record says they are. Conversely, if they lose this game, I think it invites all of the skepticism that a lot of people have already met the Denver Broncos with to this point.
And what about the Texans they win this game, they beat a good team like Denver, they go to 4-4, they got Jacksonville ahead of them right now at 4-3. They're not going to, at this point it seems unlikely they're going to catch up to Indy, who's
But they got
dominant.
2 games against Indy though.
Yeah, so
they got 2 games at the end of the season against Indy, so you can't say that.
Well, I could say it seems unlikely, but I don't know that it's definitively off the table.
Well, here's my point, though. They virtually control their own fate. They control their own destiny, right? So this is a team that is, 3 games behind or 4 games behind in the win column from the division leader, and yet they control their own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So they're on the list then, if they win this weekend, of teams that are not in first place, let's say 3rd or 4th place, that you still think could win the division.
Yes.
Like, for example, Kansas City's in 3rd place. They could still win the division. The Texans are in 3rd place. They could still win the division based on your logic. Baltimore is in 3rd place at 3-5. After what happened last night and the fact that Pittsburgh could lose to Indy, they could win the division. That's 3... I'm going to write off the Dolphins in 3rd place. There's 3 third place teams in their division in the AFC that we're saying it's not over for them to win the actual division.
Lurking Giant?
Lurking Giants. Yeah, Orlovsky said it, and he said it about the Baltimore Ravens, and he's probably not wrong. I think you got to add the Texans to that list now. That all of a sudden, 4-4, 3rd place in the division, but with the possibility with 2 games against the Colts, as you're saying,
they beat the Denver Broncos. The Houston Texans are the team that nobody wants to play
because they're back to what we thought they would be.
It's like the Bengals last year, down the stretch.
No doubt.
All right. Pat Costello, who's the Larry O'Brien Trophy today, which we will see in a little bit, has I'm over it. But first, Smalls, we just talked about ESPN Bet. We lost our parlay again last night. Under hit. We got that. Lamar did not have 250 yards passing.
And Zay Flowers was
me.
1 catch away.
I know.
Who had the Zay?
Me.
So you and I. Rodman and Phil. Of course, Michael wins. Michael wins. Michael always wins. You know what? ESPN Bet, we know about the security. They don't let random people bet for you because my face won't actually work.
They don't, but from kick out to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. You can bet smarter with stats right at your fingertips. You can get personalized parlays built just for you, and with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with the promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
The World Series on ESPN Radio. The Blue Jays take the 3-2 series lead. This is October.
Back to begin the game, and the Blue Jays lead it. It's 2-0. How do you like that?
Coverage of Game 6 begins today at 7 Eastern.